We are in this window of time now for the next several hours. It seems like
Yes.
we should be prepared for the chance of severe weather.
Exactly. I like the phrase be weather aware because
smart.
we're not trying to scare anybody about these storms, but it's important to know, especially if you're going to be outside for any duration of time this afternoon, there are thunderstorms and a lot of lightning around. So always important to be weather aware. And this is what we're looking at right now. So it's warm and very humid. I'm skipping right over our temperatures because I want to talk about these storms. It's not often that we see such a clearly defined line of storms going all the way up from Aroostook County down through the mountains and into New Hampshire. And this is what we're dealing with right now. This front is going to continue to move from west to east across the state this afternoon, bringing some more severe and strong weather. So we're watching some of these stronger storms move through areas of Aroostook County. They actually saw some pretty decent sized hail. There were reports of hail with a diameter, over an inch in some spots. You can see some of those hail tracks with some of those associated systems getting into that blue and even purple color. That's hail over an inch, so pretty substantial for those storms. Up in areas of northern Maine as well. Right now we do have a flash flood warning. I would expect more of these to pop up later in the afternoon if some of those systems do have some very heavy rainfall associated with them. Bringing things a little bit farther west now, we have another area of strong storms moving through just south of the Rumford and north of Bridgeton, right near Stoneham areas. A lot of very heavy rain, a lot of lightning, might even see some small hail in some of those areas. So we have a lot of storms that we're watching as this line continues to move through the state. We do have a slight risk of severe weather, which is a 2 out of 5 on the scale for almost the whole state here, with the exception of the immediate southern coastline. So that's why we're going to be watching a lot of those storms this afternoon statewide. And we have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for the entire state of Maine and New Hampshire, and that's in effect until 6 p.m. tonight. So the models here, you can tell they're a little bit behind where the storms actually are, because clearly we just saw on the radar, that we have a lot more storm activity actually happening than what this model is showing. However, we're going to see that it continues to pick up on more shower and storm activity as we get into the afternoon. Those strong storms moving through areas of the mid-coast and eastern Maine by the time we get to around dinner. The good news here is that once the sun goes down, we lose a lot of the heat and diurnally driven storms. So once the sun goes down, our storm threat does diminish a lot. We still have a couple of showers that will be hanging around, but for the most part, the big storm threat will be done by the time the sun sets. As we get into the day tomorrow, 4th of July, the air mass that we're in now is replaced by one that's a lot cooler and a lot crisper. We're going to start out with a lot of sunshine. We do have a chance of some isolated showers in the afternoon, mainly areas north and east of Bangor. So something to keep in mind if you are going to be outside for the 4th of July. Very similar, though, that once the sun goes down, we might still have a couple of scattered showers in areas of eastern Maine, but most of the state should be dry for those fireworks. However, it might be a little bit chilly. Look, 10 p.m. temperatures in the 50s and some low 60s, so it might be sweatshirt weather, especially because those dew points are going to be very low as well. A lot of sunshine to start the day on Saturday, but we'll pick up some high clouds in the afternoon. A little bit warmer, though we do kick up a sea breeze in the afternoon there. Then once we get into Sunday, that's when things start to get hot and humid once again. So if we break down the holiday weekend, cooler for the 4th of July with an isolated shower, especially areas, like I said, north and east of Bangor. Saturday, we have a lot of sunshine, start to warm up once again, but dew points will still be very comfortable on Saturday. The heat and the humidity returns for Sunday, though. Heat indexes could get into the mid and even upper 90s. I anticipate a very busy beach weekend. Marine forecast sees 2 to 3 feet. Ocean temp is 62. So we will be very closely monitoring those storms for the rest of the day today. Once the sun goes down, just a couple of showers remaining. Brian, looks like it'll be nice for the 4th of July. However, it might have a little bit of a crisper feel. So though after a week of a lot of heat and humidity, that might be a little bit of a welcome change.
Yeah, I think refreshing will be the word for the 4th.
Yes.
And then right back to the heat.
Very quick turnaround there.
We will stay with both Dana and Ryan Breton throughout the afternoon on that severe weather possibility. Dana, thanks.
Yes.